People. Que pasa, sakpa, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. This one is called It Makes No Sense to Gain the World Only to Lose Your Soul, only to lose your freedom, only to lose what's your life. I am speaking about a young youth. His name is Oren Emmanuel, born 1994. That would make him about 29 going to 30-year-old. He was taken out the other day at a place called Kingsdale Boulevard, that is in Kingston 19. Based on the popo, it is said that they pulled over some black vehicle, told the vehicle to stop. The driver of that vehicle disobeyed. The driver of that vehicle sped off. Police chased him. According to the popo, it is said that him exit the vehicle and then blaze up some can upon them. The popo took action, wheel and pop off, blaze up back some can off of him. You know the regular script. After the smoke clear, him get can up, and also the passenger in the vehicle. That would be a lady. Based on the information, it is said that this man's name has been calling up on the DEATH of Constable McLean. That was a popo that was taken out in a Caymanas garden that is in Portmore a couple of weeks ago. His name was called up. Was he a person of interest? Was he a suspect? People may not really know. However, what I do know, whenever your name is associated indirectly or directly to the takeaway of the popo, it becomes a case of importance. It becomes a case of significance. They are going to put all sorts of manpower. No sorts of sparing of anything as it pertains to that. They are going to catch you fly high or fly low. Now there's a couple of videos on social media showing this youth. Whether him a floss, people, there is nothing wrong. If you work hard and you want to floss, you have all rights to do so. However, in Jamaica, it does not really work out too well. If you are linked to any sorts of criminal network, if you are linked to any sorts of takeaway or any sorts of SHOOTING of any sorts of popo, because then you are not stealth. Pretty much the higher that the monkey climbs is the more that he is exposed. I am going to show you a couple of videos with this youth pulling off with a very expensive Porsche. This is the video right here. Take a listen, take a look at the beautiful bean footage, and then I'll give my piece. Now people, if you notice, that vehicle is no sorts of cheap setting. Porsche not cheap, none at all. This brand, this kind of Porsche is very, very expensive. Don't know if it is or he just went by the dealership, making some sorts of arrangement to buy it. Him not pick it up yet, or him have it, people. Me not really know the deal. Me not know him, me name Dede. However, again, like I said, Jamaica is not the type of place in which you have wealth, whether it is by illegitimate or legitimate way, and then you pose off. Especially when you are posing off with wads of cash, stash of cash, millions of dollars in that vehicle. It is illegal just to have $1 million Jamaican dollar. Well, it is not illegal. You have to give account where you get it from, what was the means, what was the source. However, we know with these knuckleheads on social media, them like for pose off. So therefore, instead of flying stealth, them have to show off so people can see it is all about bragging. It is all about boasting. There's a next video. He did not stop right there. This is the next video. Don't know what type of vehicle this is. Don't know if it's a Porsche or whatever. However, people, you can see he is pretty much doing the same thing. Take a listen, take a look at the beautiful bean footage, and then I'll give my piece. People, like me say, disclaimer once again, because whenever you talk, people always say, you know, say, you bad mind the liquor youth them, because you know, want to say the liquor youth them make money. People, it has nothing to do with that. My point is that, if you know, say, your thing not straight, meaning you're making money by illicit means, or you know, say, you're hot, maybe social media is not the best place for you to be displaying your arrogance, displaying or boasting of. Because then you have the ops, then you have the cops, most importantly. Especially when your name is being called up. Here is he once again in some sorts of red bottom. People, the youth look like he might make some money. The youth was living the good life. However, short-lived was that life. It was like the lifespan of that of a housefly. Before him 30, him gone, he was terminated. The thing is that I realize with these youths, them have the hustling ability. Because here it is, he is the owner of a store, Thug Fashion. The name of that place is questionable once again. Normal human beings, Jamaicans, legitimate people, do not name their store like that. However, it is your choice to do whatever you so choose when you make your money, by which way you make it. But me just as say, the type of energy, the type of name, the type of things that you put on yourself, it can come back and haunt you. These youths, when they make the money, them not know how to leave out of the badness, them not know how to leave out of the choppings, them not know how to launder the money and turn illegitimate to legitimate means. And people, disclaimer once again, I am not promoting any sorts of illegal, illicit activity, but me just say, if you cannot be good, be careful. Don't be out there showing your ASS off, because the only thing that is going to happen is that you're going to end up SHITS creek without a paddle. And people, that seems to be the case as it pertains to this youth. Have ambition, have hustling ability. However, too much negative press, too much negative energy. The energy that you put out there is the energy that you're going to get back. If you are a suspect or a person of interest for any takeaway, any carnival of any sorts of po-po, you are on the priority list to DIE. And when they get a chance, even if you never come out of the vehicle and wheel and pop off any sorts of con, that is what the script is going to say. That is going to be what you hear. So the people them stop you, you disobey, and then you come out and you start blaze up off of them return the FIRE. People, we've seen this over and over again. It is almost cliche. But like the saying goes, your attitude determines your altitude, how high you go. The things that you do, the good that you do, it comes back to you. The bad that you do, it comes back and it haunts you. So therefore, do not dibble and dabble in criminal activity and legitimate activity. Sooner or later, it is going to haunt you. And people, that was the case. As you say, the Grim Reaper came for this man in the form of Sea-Tac and other po-po. Point blank and period. Further on in the news, it is called Hype Will Pop Off Your Stripe. The same people that you saw on your way to the top is the same people that you see when you fall off or you hit rock bottom. What am I speaking about? I am speaking about a very unfortunate set of events that I have noticed as it pertains to top sprinter Elaine Thompson-Hera. We realize that the last championship for the World Championship, she did not qualify for the 100. She qualified for the relay. I think she came 5th or so. So she never met the straight 100. She then withdraw, lack of confidence from the 200. Obviously, she did not make that either. What is most disturbing is the fact that when she had success at the MVP camp with a coach, legendary coach, Stephen Francis, there are 2 guru coaches like God of coaching in Jamaica. Glenn Mills, the former coach of legendary sprinter Usain Bolt, and then Stephen Francis. They left, you can call it a very bitter marriage. They went separate ways. There was all sorts of throwing subliminals on social media, mostly from Elaine Thompson-Hera. Like me say, she was a top athlete. However, it seems as if throughout some sorts of injuries, throughout some sorts of lack of confidence, she is not in top shape anymore. So she made a critical error to leave that camp in which she had success. Even when she had injuries, she would always bounce back. She left her top coach and MVP because she decided she's going to coach with her husband. Now people, her husband might be a coach. He is not Glenn Mills, and he is definitely not Stephen Francis. But I guess Elaine thought that she had that God-given ability. She can use a common foul coach. She don't need no top coach. She would learn the hard way. She would learn the wrong way. If you look at your screen, throughout all of the stuff that has been going on, the posts, the bashing, subliminal dissing that was going on, this was one of the most damning things that she said or she posted. Pretty much it says, unfortunately, when most of y'all met me, I was a people pleaser who lacked boundaries. Allow me to introduce myself. I burn bridges as needed. So therefore she has said, the bridge that she burned as it pertains to her coach, Stephen Francis, it is because it was a necessary need. This is something that she needed to do. My, was she wrong. Now, throughout all of this, the coach, Stephen Francis, he saw exactly what was going on and he said, she is ungrateful. He said, it is hard to speak to her when you're pretty much speaking to her through the husband. The husband is making the decision. She is based her decisions on the fact that she's in love, the fact that she's married. So therefore, she'll listen to her coach, which is the husband. She was penny wise and pound foolish. I guess she thought that if she cut off all ties with the coach, she would not have to pay as much money as she paid. She could keep the money all in the family. She was penny wise and pound foolish because people, 10% of 10 billion is better than 100% of $1. So therefore, you're foolish. It was a foolish move. It came back to haunt her in more than one reason. She lacked the confidence and also she lacked the results that she needed. Fast forward, the other day it is said that she was seen training with a young lady. That young lady's name is Shanique Osborne. Here's the tricky thing about the whole thing. Mrs. Osborne is an understudy of Stephen Francis that used to work at the MVP. Now people, me no know if a Sykes the MVP I use and bringing her back in the camp, but they don't want all of the scandals, so therefore them say, alright, understudy, act as if you are the coach. People, me no know, me just a talk about different options. Or maybe that understudy is now doing her own thing after learning from one of the best. And Elaine figured that this is a competent enough coach that was there throughout everything, that was also assisting and aiding when she had the success. Like me say, Stephen Francis vow she will never come back to MVP based on the fact that you not talk to her, you talk to she and the husband. So therefore a whole lot of distraction, decisions were made based on love, based on emotion, not based on common sense, because we saw that it came back to haunt her. Mrs. Osborne, when she was asked by the media, are you her permanent coach? She says, no, this is something temporary. No sorts of decisions were made. Whatever the case is, I am sure that this lady Osborne is better than the coach or the ex-coach who is the husband. However, he is or she is not better than Stephen Francis. In my opinion, I think that it is best that Elaine Thompson-Hera and also Stephen Francis mend whatever problem them have, put all egos aside and do what is best for both, do what is best for Jamaica. However, people, sometimes things get so bad, there is no sorts of mending those fences. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.